Good evening, everybody. It is December the 1st, 2025. We are back, Scouching Live, of course. And amazingly, for the first time in a very long time, I managed to track him down. The hardest working man in Southern Ontario, localized entirely to the area of Etobicoke, Mississauga border of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Producer AJ Jadero. AJ, you're back.
I'm
for a few
back.
things. How are you, sir? How are things? How have you been? You have some big life news.
Yes,
What's up? What's going
I
on?
am sadly a year older.
Well, yes, it was AJ's birthday. Yes, that's true.
uh, last Sunday, yes, but I am 25 now. I'm an old fart, man. I'm an old fart. I'm gonna die soon. The Leafs have already died. My dream's dying with me of seeing them win a cup. It's depressing, but I have a puppy now, so I don't care.
Yes, he's a dog owner.
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah, we've got a dog owner. So
But you were in France and Spain, and I'm
yes.
very curious to hear what that was like because I waited a long time to ask you this because I thought it would be a good way to open the show.
Yeah, I mean, you getting a dog is pretty big news. It's probably bigger than me going to Europe for a week or so, but
Yeah, but nobody cares about me.
fair enough. I mean, maybe we'll let the fans decide that. How about we do one of these? We'll do one of these.
We'll have a poll that 5 people
Do you
interact with.
care about producer AJ? Question mark. Yes or no?
No, why are you gonna do this to me?
Stop it. Yeah, there we go. All right, there we go.
Painful.
Anywho,
Painful.
yes, I did just get back to Canada. When was it? I will admit I am a little bit jet lagged still. I was up at 7 this morning, Eastern time. I got home yesterday evening around like 7 p.m. Eastern time. So I had a long day yesterday. So the family, it was my dad's 70th birthday.
Happy birthday,
So
Papa
yes,
Scouch.
happy birthday, Papa Scouch, Papa S, the big man. Um, yeah, I mean he turned 70 in February, but we have or March, but we haven't been able to get away until now. But anyway, yeah, no, and we figured that we'd want to go do a little bit of a globe trot in Western Europe, so to speak. We got to go to Paris for a few days, landed there, sort of got over the jet lag for a couple days there, and I'm a huge fan of Paris, and I haven't been in a long time, and had a great time there. Ate some really really good food. We went for a lunch at me and the better half of my sister went for a lunch at near the Eiffel Tower, near the Tour Eiffel, at a Michelin star restaurant, Arnaud Nicolas, which was excellent. What else did we do? Mostly a lot of walking around. I put in about 20,000 steps a day every day while we were gone, which is pretty
Okay,
wild.
not bad,
But
not
I mean,
bad.
that is the place that's what you do in the places we went. We got on a plane in Paris and flew to Malaga in Spain and took a bus or a cab ride from Malaga to Granada, which I've never really been to before or thought about, but that place is pretty amazing. I highly recommend looking into that because it's a really really cool little small city in Spain. And then hopped on a train, went to where did we go from there? Oh, Cordoba, and that was fun. And that's another really cool city with lots going on there as well. Had some of the best meals of my entire life there. Swear to God, hand to God. A couple of those we went to. What were the names of those places? The first one was a place. There was a place we wanted to go to called Bodegas. What was it? Bodegas Mesquitas or something like that. It's like there's a mosque in Cordoba that has now turned into a church, and by the mosque there's this restaurant, and we tried to get in, and the guy, I guess my Spanish was better than I thought because he asked if we had a reservation, and I said no, and he's like, well, the restaurant's pretty full, but he gave me a business card and circled a bunch of places on the card, and they had like 4 locations within like a 2-block radius, which I had never heard, of before. Like one restaurant having multiple locations.
Why'd you open a second Krusty Krab next to the
Yeah,
original one? I like
exactly.
money.
Well, yes, and we went to the second one that he circled nearby. That one was full. We went to the third one that he circled nearby. That one had just opened, which, if you're not familiar, in Spain, everything closes for like 5 hours in the afternoon.
Siesta
And
time, baby.
yeah, and then it opens at like the restaurants open at like 7:30. Like we showed up at a restaurant at 7:25 and poked our heads in with a reservation, and I was like, hey, like, uh, we have a reservation por cinco, por favor. And the woman went like, can you come back in 3 minutes? We're like, 3 minutes? Like, we can't just like sit down. There's nobody here. Like, what's the big deal? And that did not turn out so well. But the other, that third location we went to for that restaurant, it was spectacular. The guy brought out like these weird, crazy fortified red wine drinks for us at the end of the night, and it was, some of the most insane food I've ever had. We went for lunch at a place right by the river in Cordoba the next day, and that was also exceptional. And then went to Seville for a day before getting on a plane to Amsterdam and then a plane to Toronto yesterday. So about 16 hours of traveling to get home yesterday, but we made it. We're
Oh
home.
boy.
Yeah, well, it was a 3-hour flight from Sevilla to Amsterdam. I had a 3-hour layover in Amsterdam.
So you went
and an
away
8-hour flight.
from you
Yeah.
you went further away from Toronto
Yeah.
and then came back.
Yes. My dad really wanted to fly KLM on the way home, and for good reason. KLM was awesome. It was great. Watched a lot of good movies. I watched a movie on the way over. I watched a movie in French on the way over to France. I watched OSS 117, which was an exceptionally funny movie. I was laughing on the plane and probably annoying everybody while they were trying to sleep. And then what else? And then on the way home yesterday, I didn't sleep. I wanted to beat the jet lag as best I could, and I watched. What did I watch? Oh, I watched the Minecraft movie, which was legitimately awesome. I had a great time. What was the other one? I watched the Blackberry movie with Glenn Howerton and Jay Baruchel. That movie rocked as well. And the other one I watched was a banger too. Which one was that? Oh, I watched Game Night with Jason Sudeikis and what's her name? Rachel McAdams and the guy Jesse Plemons from Breaking Bad, and yeah. Anyway, all kinds of fun stuff. Really, really good time away. Ate well. I do want to go back to Spain. I've never really been to Spain, and Spain was really great. I really liked it. I love Paris. It's still a great place to be. Especially if you know a little bit of French, that helps. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, and
But you
I'm
didn't
glad to be
go to
home.
the land of where the Barcas made their mark on the world, Barcelona.
No, we did not go to Barcelona.
You didn't
This
you
was
didn't
Spain.
see
Spain.
Okay.
And I
Not
know.
Carthaginian Spain and Catalonian Spain.
No, I was in Andalusia, man. Like
Yeah,
Islamic Spain is sick, though. I must say, like Islamic Spain in November is great. Um, like it was really warm while we were there, by and large. Like it was sweater weather every day. It was really great. I saw people walking around in a jacket from the North Face that I actually own, but it's for when it's like a cold snap here and it's like -20. It's this really puffy, like two-tone
yeah.
jacket. And I saw like 13 of them while I was in Spain when it was like 12 degrees out. And I'm like, y'all need to spend some more time in Canada if you're going to wear that jacket outside, because gee whiz, like it's not built for this, but I guess that's what you need.
Nobody wants to spend time in Canada, as
Yeah, that's true.
as we see in the no
Actually,
trade clauses.
yeah, I will say though, the guy who checked us in for our flight to Amsterdam, he was very Spanish and he loved Canada. He saw our passports and he was like, "Oh my god, you guys are Canadian." He had a Canada like maple leaf pin on his shirt. He's like, "I've been to Canada like 4 times. I love it." Yada yada yada. And then he went to and then like
Jesus.
he checked us into our flight at the gate. He was there, And he's like, "Oh, my Canadian friends that are here. Oh, good luck traveling to Canada. Have fun. Blah blah blah." I was like, "Wow, you really love Canada. Like that's kind of
He
wild."
loves Canada more than I do.
Yeah, I know he loves Canada. I mean, I love Canada too. It felt really good coming back. I will say one thing
Not
too
the
about
weather
Spain.
though.
Yeah, that's true. But the thing about Spain where I was that I loved was the water pressure. Where everywhere we stayed, the water pressure was overwhelmingly good. Like it that water fires out of the sinks faster than you can imagine. If you want to fill a glass of water, you don't got to waste the extra 10 seconds that you waste in Canada, or maybe not 10, but 4. Instead, you're good. It's a one and done. You just one steamboat, you got your glass of water, you're done. So credit to Spain for that. That was good. Um, but yeah, that region of Spain I've never been. I've never really thought about it, but I really recommend it. It was great.
And now
The
Will's going to
people,
try and do the agonizing task of starting as Granada and doing the
I am not today.
Reconquista in
Certainly not today.
EU4.
And
I
certainly,
started, and I'm banging my head against a wall as an
yeah.
experienced player.
Yeah. It did make me want to try to form Andalusia in EU4 because I was sitting there thinking about it and like,
You can do it
you
with
know,
Morocco or Tunis or even
yeah,
Tlemcen if you want to in the game. I
yeah.
would recommend Tunis if you're going to do it, or Morocco. But I would say Tunis is the best because you have the pirating mechanic. And Morocco also has some pretty bad disasters at the start of the game. Tunis is the play.
Right. I'm not gonna also like play the politics of it, but what I will say is that like the cultural backdrop of the region, whether you are, more akin to sort of the Muslim era in Spain or the Catholic takeover and the zealotry of
Hey,
the
I'm akin to
Renaissance
the
in Spain.
Roman era in Spain, okay? That is my era.
Sure, whatever era you aspire to, it's a very interesting part of the world with a lot of history. And the crazy thing, and I didn't really think about it until I got there, but the crazy thing was that like they the Catholics could have stormed in, destroyed every ounce of Muslim architecture, every mosque that existed. They could have just blown them all up and built their own stuff, and they didn't. And it's kind of crazy. Like there was one place we went to, the mosque in I think it was Cordoba, and they actually built like a church tower around the minaret from the mosque. So like
Oh, damn.
when you climb up the stairs to like go up the tower, about like 2/3 of the way up, it comes to a landing, and there's just like the top of a Muslim minaret just inside the building. So they left it intact. They kept it. They didn't destroy it, but they built a church tower around it, which was really bizarre, but kind of cool. Anyway,
And Will
great time.
likes bizarre and kind of cool.
Oh, I do.
That is
Yeah,
your
I do.
jam.
Yeah, and that mosque was wild. By the way, it was like some of the I did not like. I don't know. Some of those places I definitely was like, this should be a much bigger global like site to go to. Because if you go to like Notre Dame or something in Paris, like I get it. There's a lot going on there. It's a pretty incredible building. I saw it after they renovated it, and it looks awesome in there. But like these, I have some pictures that I haven't put on my and edited on my computer yet. But like some of these like cathedrals and mosques in southern Spain are absolutely insane, and cannot recommend it enough. The food itself was the best, and yeah, it was a great time. But anyway, this is a hockey show. It's nice to be back, though. I will say the last couple days, I definitely was like, I kind of think I want to get myself back into the swing of things here, get back into Canada, get my feet going, and hit the ground running as we get into 2026 and World Junior time and everything. So I don't know, AJ, unless you have anything left to
Nope.
add, we can dive right in
I
here.
just wish that I didn't have to start 2026 on demon hours. Thank you, boss, for putting me on night shifts
Well,
for the 30 the 12-hour night shift for the
yeah,
31st or for the
that
first.
is that's no good. That's just too bad,
It's
man.
fine. I'll watch the end of Stranger Things.
That's just too bad. I will also say though, it's nice that 55% of our audience seems to think that they care about you.
Yeah, and then
So
36% also care enough to say stop this stupid question.
yeah, Right. So that's like 90%. So you're good.
The
You
only
got
one person, 1 out of 11 people don't
Yep.
care about me.
Yeah, and that one person,
You can go
they,
yourself.
they can go hey, they can do whatever.
No, it's okay. I
Um,
don't care.
yeah, no.
I don't blame you for not caring about me.
Yeah, nor should you. Okay, not nor should you care about him, but nor should you care about
Everybody
caring.
should care about me, but I don't care if you don't.
Everybody should care about everybody, except for maybe a few people. But anyway, let's move on. All right.
Hockey
So,
show.
yeah,
All
it's a
right.
hockey show.
How much hockey have
So
you
let's
watched
go?
in the past little way? Oh, you want to start with this?
No, I don't. I mean, so I got home yesterday. I watched. I didn't do any data tracking today. I kind of wanted to. Well, I guess I woke up going, I'm going to ease into the work, getting back into the swing of things here. So I decided to watch two Five Nations under 18 games that I had banked from before for the U.S. team, and I watched 1.75. No, 1 2/3 of the CHL NTDP series, which I tried to watch on 5 separate occasions while I was away on train rides and plane rides and whatever. And I just could never get it to go properly and whatever. So I just waited till I came home and procrastinated. So I have watched most of those games. The third period of game 2, I haven't gotten to just yet. But we watched all of it up to that point in the Discord server. If you want to join the Discord server, it's available at any tier of subscription over at scouching.ca. We did just have a Black Friday deal, but if you missed it, we will do a Boxing Day sale that will be identical, where 25% off of your first payment will come off of the payment automatically at checkout, because I didn't know you could do that until last month. And so,
You
anyway,
want to do one
no
for
more.
today, Cyber Monday?
Is it Cyber Monday today, man? I don't know. But
It is.
Anyway,
But I guess we
it does.
missed the boat.
Yeah, no,
We're a little behind.
it's okay.
I've
It's
stuck
okay.
my head in the sand a little bit because the Leafs are awful. They're
They
awful.
are pretty bad.
Fire Berube. Fire Brad Treliving, please.
Oh boy.
End my suffering.
Oh boy. All right. Well, let's get into it. Again, if you're coming back to the show and you haven't been here for a while, we're going to be doing chat live. We're trying to keep up live and keep it moving. And so if you have anything you want to, discuss, bring up, yell about, do it, and we'll get to it as soon as we can. None of this pre-planned first hour crap. But anyway.
Yeah, we don't plan here. If you
No,
make plans, you
we
plan
do
to
work
fail.
and then come ready to party. I don't know. Anyway, let's get into this. Is Will Horkoff's shooting 11 billion% sustainable? Well, 11 billion% would definitely be unsustainable, but he is shooting 30%.
Somebody is an Elliot Friedman fan. That 11 billion is straight out of Elliot Friedman's mouth.
11 billion is also straight out of
No, it's
something else.
No, it's an Elliot Friedman reference. I am confident. I used to listen to 32 Thoughts, the podcast, when my team wasn't the focus of shame.
Oh boy. Well, how times change.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean,
good show though.
The answer to your question is almost certainly no. 11 billion% would just be mathematically impossible. But 30% is pretty nuts. I don't know anybody who's shooting 30% long term. Speaking of which, I also saw that Tyson Forster is shooting 20% in the NHL this year, which is nuts. And his career so far is shooting like 18%, which if he sustains that, he might be the best shooter that ever lived. So that's pretty wild. But yeah, I mean, Will Horkoff, I actually did check in on him before I left a little bit because I was curious as to where this was all coming from. And, he's still Will Horkoff. I remember this guy from last year and what he brought to the table. And I could see how he's a good, productive college scorer and, a good, safe, projectable guy. You look up and down the game by game here. I'm looking at it right now. And, you've got 3 points in a 10-2 win over Robert Morris and 5 goals against Mercyhurst, who I believe are and that was a series where they outscored them 18-1 to start the year. 5 points against Harvard this past weekend, and Harvard is Ivy League teams are a little questionable. So he's getting a lot out of some really not so good opponents, but it doesn't really matter overall. I think he's still a player that plays well enough that you could definitely see some kind of NHL career out of him down the road. I felt, fourth line center, third line winger, something like that at the end of the day. But anyway, I don't know. It's not sustainable to answer your question. Has Harry Nancy done what he needed to do to become a real prospect? He was never not a real prospect, sir. Porygon
Come on now.
XL. Come on now.
Harry
Harry Nancy.
Nancy is awesome. We love Harry
Har-
Nancy here. Harry Nancy is the
yeah.
savior.
Yeah, Harry Nancy is the solution to all of Toronto's problems. They should probably call him up tomorrow.
He really isn't.
He is not. I mean, look, I think with Harry Nancy,
But he's good.
he is. You have to be careful though. I think a lot of his production has been sort of like power play, secondary assist stuff that like is hard to sort of sustain long term. But I have seen him a couple of times this year. I've watched. He's playing a lot with Pearson Bouye, who I think is a really really good offset to him. Bouye brings a lot of energy and physicality and a lot of finishing ability, and Nancy is an excellent forechecker and a really good quick strike playmaker. And there's a lot of things I think that he's bringing to the table. I think a lot of it comes down to better surroundings. He has defensemen who play on that team that can move the puck a little bit more. They're getting a lot more motion on the puck in the offensive zone on the power play, for example, that I've noticed with Owen Sound. So yeah, I mean, I think that what his situation is like I don't think he's going to sustain like a 100-point pace in the OHL. Just the same as last year, I did not expect him to be a 15-20 point guy in the OHL.
So what you're saying is regression is real.
Aggregate, yeah, it's an aggregate of the two, and I think that that's reasonable. I love the kid. I think he's a great player. He's got a lot of potential. He was probably drafted too late, I would say, but nonetheless, I'm happy. It makes me look smart, so I agree with it, right? Like that's the thing.
The saying.
Yeah. Seeing a lot of Owen Power discourse going on today. Well, it's important that you add the context of what kind of discourse we're talking about today. I mean, I do see that a lot of Sabres fans seem to be fed up with his big for nothing style of play, but I mean, I don't know. It
Who
depends on
could
what you
have
mean by that.
foreseen this? Who?
You sounded like the J.D. Vance South Park character there for a second.
Hey, Bust.
Best. Who could have seen that coming, Best?
Oh, Bust, it's so big.
But Bus,
What about Satan?
the big right-hand shot defenseman, Bus? We don't find those every day.
We need to crush our opponents, Bust.
Yeah. He might be the best character they've put out there in a long time. The way they, it's just so funny.
Is he better than Towley?
Well, I mean, Towley is legendary.
Towley's
I mean, how do you
amazing.
beat
I remember
Towley?
the first time I saw Towley, I'm like, there's no way this character is ever going to come back. Like, I'm like, why are they showing this one-off character for this one scene? And then he is integrated in today's episodes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Big time.
I love Towley.
Who would you compare Yegor Surin to that's in the NHL currently? A very good question.
Wow, I am so delirious that I thought it said, who would you compare Igor Surin to in currency? That's how I read that. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
You had to exchange him for Russian currency. How much do you think you would get for him? Well, let's see here. Well, I mean, I'll tell you the kind of player that he is. I mean, he's a really nutty physical guy with a really good shot. You know, he's been really good this year. I mean,
So Ovi.
yeah, exactly. I don't know. I mean, it's a good question. Like the first name just scrolling up and down here that kind of pops up is, you know, maybe a guy like Tyler Bertuzzi, you know, potential 30-goal guy, but a really physical one, really good energy in his game. I think he's a little further along at the same age, so there might be a bit more upside there.
Is he as slow as Bertuzzi?
No, he is a goer. He's certainly a goer. You know, you plop him on a power play, he'll score goals. Probably, he's obviously shooting the lights out in Russia right now. I mean, I don't know. Just scrolling up and down here. Like, yeah, Tyler Bertuzzi is actually 25th in the league in goals scored this year. Nuts. Did not know that, but I mean, Kiefer Sherwood also, maybe he's kind of come up as that type of a super high energy goal scorer guy. Maybe there's something there if we're talking guys in 2025 that are kind of like that. I don't know.
This is just me throwing a
player.
name out there. Not that I've seen Igor Surin all that much, but when I hear I mean, this guy's not big, but he likes to get into it. Maybe Connor Garland.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, something like that.
And I love me some
player-
Connor Garland.
There's I think Garland is a little more skilled and more of a playmaker than
Fair enough.
Surin, but I see where you're coming from.
I'm thinking about the rambunctious energy because Connor
Yes.
Garland has
Oh, there
got
is
that.
Yes.
Got that
There's
poop
definitely that.
disturber in him.
Yeah, he is a poop disturber. Yeah, he disturbs all the poop. Oh, here we go. Okay. We got look, totally unbiased Steelhead fan is always here to get AJ going. And he's here the day AJ
Probably the one person who answered I care about AJ on the poll.
That's true. Yeah, or don't. The one answer who said
No. He cares. He comes back to bother me.
Oh, one of them. Okay. Why do the Leafs suck and why is it all your fault? Well, I don't know about the second part, but
It's
I'm
not
sure
all
you
my
know the
fault.
first part. Although you haven't really watched much of them for your own sake,
Because I know what the problem is, and it's like I just be yelling the same thing. The problem is they can't move the puck out of their own end, and they play like there's no attempt at transition out of their own end ever. It seems like it's let's just dump the puck down. Let's do that because we only have big donuts on skates in the back end. And Chris Tanev's out, so we don't have our superpower to stop everything.
Huge hole in the lineup.
That does not get talked about enough.
Yeah, huge hole. Just
that guy.
in the lineup.
That guy was literally the Band-Aid keeping everything together. I know not having Mitch Marner is not great. All right, obviously losing a player of that caliber is going to hurt your team. But I think the real thing that hurts the team is that they don't spend any time in the offensive zone because they can't get the puck out of their own end. And that is the real problem. So
it's not even that. They can't even touch the puck in their own end in the first place.
Well, but that's part of it, right? That's part of it.
Yeah.
It's all part of the same recipe. And also, the mobile guy they have, or the mobile guys they have, Morgan Rielly and Oliver Ekman-Larsson. I love Mo. Mo's not very good defensively. And Oliver Ekman-Larsson is kind of stupid when he plays hockey. He's kind of stupid. He was just uberly talented when he was in Arizona getting like through stuff. But he's not like it's kind of crazy how he got like completely undone in that the Washington game. Just like, because I was watching that with my grandfather, who is a big Leafs fan as well, and he has to actually pay for those games because he lives in Kingston, and they black them out because you have to watch the Senators if you're there, which is like, come on, what are we doing? It's a halfway point in between. Why are they blacking out Leafs games in Kingston? But anyways, it's like, he's paying to watch this garbage. I'm not. And it was just embarrassing. It was embarrassing. This guy got spun around like a ballerina. He did. He got spun around like a ballerina.
Yeah, I believe you.
He's a moron. And that's why
boy.
imagine you spent the same amount of money 2 off seasons ago or an off season ago, whenever it was, to get Sean Walker, who's way better, less flashy, gets the job done because he knows how to move the puck and he can defend properly. Instead, you have this big dumb Swedish idiot who gets who's pirouetting and letting pucks go in the net. Like, come on, man.
I saw something the other day. I saw someone post one of those stat cards from someone, I think, and it was of Dakota Mermis with the Leafs.
Yeah, and why is he playing?
And they're like, well, it was actually like there was a lot of blue on it. There was a lot of good on it. So they were like, well, maybe he's like actually maybe part of what the. And I'm going, oh boy, like that's when you know you're down real bad. Like, all due respect to Dakota Mermis for the career he has built, but
he's bad. He's very, very bad.
That team has been getting so absolutely like if Joseph Wool hadn't come back yet, and we were dealing and Toronto was dealing with a Hildeby Primo pair still, you know.
What's crazy is they're not even that far out of the playoffs because the Atlantic has just fallen off.
Yeah.
It was the best division in hockey for 7 years. For 7 years, it was the best division in hockey, even when it wasn't a division for that 1 year. 2 of its teams made the cup final. There's been like I think it's 8 of the last 7 Stanley Cups have featured, or sorry, 7. Like in the last 7 Stanley Cups, I think it's featured 8 Atlantic Division teams. Okay, that's how good the Atlantic Division was. Even if the Montreal Canadiens made it on a Mickey Mouse run, all right, little bit, but they beat my dumb team, so good for them. But like that's how good the Atlantic has been. We've had 2 teams that have won 2 cups, a team that should have won a cup, and somehow Craig Berube fluked his way into one, which shouldn't have happened. The most fugazi cup ever. Sorry, St. Louis Blues fans. I am now convinced that cup was one to get Toronto fans' hopes up when they got a Stanley Cup winning coach who really had no clue what he was doing, and it was just Jordan Binnington saving St. Louis's butt the entire time, man. Like, am I being a little bit cynical and a little bit sad and depressed? Absolutely. Am I being hyperbolic? Also, absolutely. But I think my point stands. Craig Berube's not a good coach, and the Atlantic Division was awesome. Now it's bad, and it's crazy that the Leafs are still in it.
I don't know if I would say. I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen the Leafs play in the last 2 weeks because I've been gone.
It's been bad.
But I mean, like, I don't know if it's so much that like Craig Berube is a bad coach as much as they're just a bad team.
But
like the like
I think it's both. I think it's both.
Well, yes.
But I also think that like they had Timothy Liljegren, they didn't want to play him because Berube wouldn't play him. You know,
well, the Sharks don't want to play Liljegren. So
well, get him back. Get him back. He's good. I like him. And I just feel like this team has shifted in a way where they tried to change the DNA so much they ended up adding an extra chromosome.
Ugh.
You know, like not a good look, right?
Well, yeah, but at the end of the day,
they just tried to get bigger and thought that more was good. That's really what it is.
Yeah. Anywho,
sorry for all those I offended. If I have that one just came out. My apologies.
Anywho, the point is, it's all AJ's fault. That's what we're trying to get.
Well,
at.
It's my yeah, sure.
Okay. Any opinions on Alexander Zhuravsky? I mean, I have
you
many.
have a video on him if you want to.
We did a whole report on him on the channel.
Go bring our views back up. We could use it.
He is a really fun player to watch. Super creative. Super active offensively. You know, it's really tricky in the KHL these days because the quality of that league has taken a pretty big nosedive, and the haves and the have-nots in Russia have become much more wide. And I think with Zhuravsky, like, you know, like he's gonna score in that league just because of the creativity and the skill level that he has. He sees the ice so well. You know, a really good all around offensive player. One of the most creative guys in the draft last year, and I've said it many times that, you know, the Habs having him in the top 20, you know, it's higher than I would have had him. It's higher than I did have him, but I see the argument for why that was the case. And so yeah, I see why that's the argument that they would have, or why there would be an argument for him there. And at the end of the day, like, I think he is on a good path forwards, whatever that looks like at the end of the day. I'm not going to get carried away thinking that he's like an elite steal of a draft pick this soon after he's been drafted, but it's very good to see him doing so well in the QMJHL in the KHL. Because I only want the best for guys like him. He's fun to watch. He's creative. He, you know, he's a guy where I think if you let him play his style, he's going to excite the fans. And I love players like that. Can you take a look at Jake Gustafson of the Portland Winterhawks and see if he's worth a flyer in the late in the draft?
Add him to the list.
I'll think about it and probably forget about the name.
What's the name? Let me just send it to you then.
No, I'm kidding. No, I've got it in front of me.
Don't play with our audience's emotions. Come on now.
We got a big boy in Portland here. I mean, yeah, I'll take a look. Obviously, I'm never gonna I'll never ignore recommendation from the audience. Did you watch any of the CHL USA Prospect Challenge? Why does Belchets forget he's 6'5", 227 when he's playing? He was bad in the Prospect Challenge. Well, I mean, I did see, like I said, 1 and 2/3 of the games. I would say that in the notes that I have coming out of it, Belchets is not one that was super commonly put in the database here. I think you saw some of the gaps that were there in his game. I do think the Americans were playing him pretty tight as well. I think they were aware of, like, I mean, I don't know. This is just me. If I'm the coach of the US team, like, I would have probably pre-scouted Belchets and said, if you give him an inch, he'll take a mile. If you give him some room on a pass reception, he'll find a way to get through you, and you just have to play him tight and make him beat you with some speed or chip and chase on you or something like that, because that's when he's a little bit less effective. Because yeah, a lot of his opportunities came off the stick of his line mates, and one timers from the top of the faceoff circle. And yeah, I mean, I think with him, it's very much I've said this forever, but like Belchets is a very, very good complementary guy. I don't think is a great line driver, but he's not a bad one. He's a guy who I think needs some room and some time and some space to be really at his best. But and the skill level for a guy that size and the finishing ability is really, really good. And I think that was on display a few times in those games. But I don't think in those games he looked like a particularly dominant power forward that is going to be a top 5 worthy draft pick. But I've never really felt that way about Belchets. But I will also say, like, time and time again this season, he's been pretty good when I've seen him. And I think, if you put him in the right,
Environment.
environment, like, he'll be really solid and pretty strong.
And he's the first game tape of the year, which I am planning to have out on Wednesday. If I don't, I should have it out on Wednesday. I am crossing my fingers that I do, but I will. I definitely will. I promise people.
Yes.
It is basically all done. We're just getting in the end of it. Like, I've edited most of it. And he's an awesome dude. Lovable, friendly, big dude. Big guy with a big heart. That's probably going to be something to do with the title. So check in on Wednesday, and it should be up. Should be.
Please check in Wednesday. Or subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and click a bell.
And ring the notification bell, and make sure it is not personalized. It is all notifications. We want you to get all the notifications.
All of them.
All the notifications that say, buy us 11 billion coffees, okay?
Yeah, exactly. How much of Max Plant have you seen this season? How translatable is his game to the NHL? Well, if you ask some people in the Scouching Discord server, he's way better than James Hagen, so there's that. I mean, I think with Max Plant, I haven't seen much of him this year. I don't know if I've actually seen any of him. I'm trying to remember, but I'm very tired and I don't really remember. But that said, like, I think Plant being a really good college scorer is not really outside the realm of possibility, just because of how smart he is. Like, he definitely, watching his brother Victor this year, I don't remember him having the same kind of two-way energy to the same extent that Victor has. But at the same time, Max has a really, really smart pass first type guy that to me really seems like, a really, really well balanced player who, is not in the highest level of competition in college hockey, but he's been really, really good for the role that he has played. He's earned this spot on the World Junior Selection roster. Obviously, he was there last year as well, so he's almost certainly going to be on the team this season. And I'll be very curious to see how he is there this year, because last year I thought he was a good part of that championship team, but I didn't think he was like overly dominant or something. And I feel like he'll fall somewhere in the middle, take a step forward. The playmaking and the vision and the timing and the pass ability will all probably be locks to be on display there. But at the end of the day, yeah, I think he's a solid player, but I haven't seen enough of him to know one way or the other on him, what the trajectory is. But obviously, scoring whatever it is, a point and a half a game or 1 point something points a game in the NCAA at his age is a pretty great accomplishment. It's so far so good. Did I do the chicken jockey thing watching the Minecraft movie? No, I actually don't understand that. I did play a lot of Minecraft like back in my university days when it was relatively new and like right around when Microsoft bought them, like I was really into it. Um and I don't really understand the chicken jockey thing. I will say that scene was hilarious. Beating up that small zombie child and making it cry,
The
but
baby zombie. That's
the baby zombie.
I've never seen the movie, but I know that is a baby zombie.
It was so funny, man. It was I went in like some things about life you expect a 0 out of 10 and you get a 7 and it's the best thing you've seen. You know, like it was so I'm so happy that it was self-aware and crazy and stupid, but they knew it. The only thing I really didn't like about the movie is Jack Black singing songs. I'm so over Jack Black singing songs.
What, you don't like School of Rock?
No, but that was 20 years ago. Like
That was one of my favorite movies as a kid.
I love School of Rock. We get it though. Like we get it. You love to sing like this. You know, like I get it. Cool. Stop it. Like
No, you're not
60 years
hardcore,
old.
Will.
Yeah, no. Like if you want, you watch School of Rock. But you know, during the Minecraft movie, it was a little much. It was Jack Black being Jack Black, and I feel like at times you got a little bit too much of him. But that's like I don't know. That's the only real complaint I have. I thought I thought it was great, and I did not expect it to be very good. But no, I did not do the chicken jockey thing, unfortunately.
Wait, you didn't want to like yell that in the middle of your flight?
I thought about it, but no. The laughing like an idiot for a few different occasions in that movie made me feel that way anyway.
My cousin went and saw that movie in theaters, and he filmed himself doing the chicken jockey part at the scene because he knew it was coming.
Well, your cousin's a bad person for filming themselves in a movie theater.
Yeah, well, tell him that.
Mm-hmm.
You're terrible, Eric. We hate you.
I mean,
I love you, Eric. You
portion of
bastard.
people who do not like people who will pull out their phones at a movie theater, but I guess for the Minecraft movie, it's a little bit.
It's the
different.
Minecraft movie.
It's the Minecraft movie. It's a bit different.
He doesn't do that at other movies. I can promise you that.
Yeah, no, I figured. All right, what do we got here? Where are we? How do you think Zane Parekh has performed thus far outside of statistics? Well, I mean, I haven't seen a tremendous amount of Calgary this year. I have not seen much of Parekh either. His ice time has looked like it's taken a big dump in the last few games. But that said, like he's being sheltered. He's on their bottom pair. He is not really being used on the power play, which I feel like if you're going to play him in the NHL in 2025, like
You
might
gotta
like
use him
both
on the
times.
power play.
But they've got like Rasmus Anderson out there, so I understand why they're not handing him those minutes right away. I don't know. And I'm looking at who he's playing with this year. His most common pairs have been like Joel Handley and Braden Patchell, who, I mean, again, they are much better at hockey than me, but in terms of NHL quality defensemen, I don't know if Calgary were a real contending team, if those guys would be on the team, and Parekh I feel like would be. His overall metrics generally, when you look a little deeper in his analytics, they seem fine. Like I think he's been as a sheltered defenseman, sort of playing on your bottom pair and maybe learning the ropes a little bit. He's been seemingly just fine. Better defensively than I would have expected overall. But you know, I mean, I think there are definitely I've seen a little bit of him this year, but not nearly enough to be totally sold or certain about it. But like I feel like he's looked good enough to get some good, you know, a good look and a long sort of rope and a lot of time to sort of work out the kinks and evolve and grow. And I mean, like Calgary is not a very good team, so it's all about managing expectations, I think. But overall, I feel like he's been I mean, kind of what I expected. He's been better defensively on paper than I expected, but maybe that, I mean, it looks like mathematically speaking, that kind of comes down to playing with Joel Hanley a little bit, which is a little surprising. But in any case, that's kind of where that comes from, at least on paper. Um, did you see Liesell's highlight reel goal against in the? Oh, okay, all right.
Wait.
I don't want to talk about Fabian Liesel every single
Wait,
time.
goal
because-
against.
Yes, I mean, who do you think wrote that?
Oh,
why the
the same person who probably doesn't care about me, as you
Yes.
said.
Yes. Why the sudden change in Rudolph's ranking? Even though I see the vision, IQ, and skating, I find him hard to project with his passiveness and softness. Well, what do you mean by change in ranking? Because on my list, I put him on my list after the CHL games that I saw today, but he's not anywhere close to where anyone else has him. Because yeah, I mean, like we were talking about it in the server. I think it was the last time we watched a game of him together, maybe 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. And the thing that became very apparent to me that I also had in my notes from the first game I saw him and tracked him was that he plays like a trampoline. Like he plays hockey like a trampoline, where a trampoline is largely an inert object in someone's backyard. But when something bounces on it, it doesn't spend much time on the trampoline, right? Like if the puck comes to Daxon Rudolph, it hits his stick and he's popping it off his stick and putting it somewhere else. And some of the time, it's a crazy 3-line pass that goes across the entire surface of the ice, and you go, I don't know how he saw that, but that was pretty cool. Or otherwise, it's off the glass and out, or along the boards to nobody, or whatever. But far more often than not in my notes, I've gone, wow, the puck is not on his stick for very long. Whether it's shots in the offensive zone, passes along the boards or passes through the neutral zone or something. Very, very seldom am I seeing him as a really strong like puck carrier or something like that.
Will, it might be that when I was playing around with trying to get this thing up that I might have changed something, because he's saying he's at 13 on the graphic, and I might have it's very possible that I hit a button and that accidentally happened, if that's
oh yeah, that's definitely not where it's supposed to be.
Okay, sorry about that.
Let me see. Did I do something wrong?
No, it might have been me, because I had to put this on the screen, and I might have accidentally entered something when there was I was trying to get it to I was trying to fit this in the window. My apologies. It was probably me who accidentally did that. Apologies, guys.
Does that make sense?
I don't know, but it's very possible that it could have been me by accident. So sorry, guys.
Oh, that's why. Nope, it's my fault.
Okay, it wasn't me. Let's go.
No, I don't know how that happened, but it happened. We fixed it. It should be fixed live now. Please forgive. It is not AJ's fault this time.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Unlike the Leafs collapse, it is not my fault.
That's true. The Leafs are AJ's fault.
Even though you said it wasn't, but
well, it is. It is now.
Well, because I accepted blame for it.
Right. Yeah, and you can't take that back.
Damn it.
Yeah. So I hope that answers your question. Not much has really changed.
Except
okay.
accidentally his ranking on the graphic.
Yep. But no, I mean, I do have him ranked now. But again, I don't. It's one of those things where it doesn't matter where I have him, because I don't think he's gonna be on my list anywhere near where he's gonna go in the actual draft. I just don't really see that high end NHL upside with him, at least not right now. And I feel like the things that are a work in progress are really tough to catch up to once you get to the NHL, unless he's just playing down to his competition and he's actually going to go to the NHL and be unbelievable day one and whatever. But I don't know. Can Caleb Malholtra be top 10? Hey, anything is possible, right?
He can be top 5 according to Jason Bukala.
Sure. I mean, look, the thing is that in the NHL draft, all it takes is one team to go, I love this guy. We're going to put him in top 5. And if he's there, we're taking him. It just takes one. And honestly, after the CHL Top Prospects game, I can look, if Caleb Desnoyers can be a top 5 pick, Caleb Malholtra can too. Malhotra is a pretty physical player.
5 letters.
Yep, 5 letters
Same
in
name.
his first name, same first name. Malhotra has NHL bloodlines, so people are gonna be all over that if they aren't already.
He has to be good. He has to be good.
Well, the thing about Malhotra is that his play in sort of chaotic situations on the go is pretty good. He's physical, but I don't see him as a super great like line driver in transition, or at least projectably so. There's a lot of similarities, honestly. There's a lot of similarities between a guy like him and a guy like Dane Noyer last year, where they're not the same, but in terms of in terms of their playmaking vision and timing on plays, and the way they do it is a little bit different, but like their overall impact on the game I find is somewhat similar, to say a bit. I think Malhotra playing with a guy like Adam Banach has been a huge boost to elevating Malhotra's production levels this year. But I mean, look, like NHL team, think about it, right? Like, look at what NHL teams seem to value in the draft these days, right? Like, they will take the center who is physical and decently sized and does not make bad plays very often. And it's the sort of safe way to go because it works. And that's fair. I get that. I still look at, but again, it's like based on that top prospects season or thing that we just saw. And again, it's only 2 games, so you can't be too forthright. But watching guys like Malhotra on the same team as guys like Preston and Villeneuve, to me, I know every day of the week which player I'm going with. And so does it even matter? Right? Like, because Mathis Preston's being ranked 15, 20, 25, some lower than that. And Villeneuve, like maybe top 10, maybe, but to some more top 20. Who knows where he goes, right? So to me, it's like I don't know if I would put Malhotra in the same range as where I have guys like Preston and Villeneuve right now. So I don't know. I just see things differently. I guess I understand where they're coming from, but it'd be hard. It would be hard to convince me to go one way over the other. But now that I've said that, we're gonna get updates in our Discord server every week when Caleb Malhotra does something and when Mathis Preston does nothing. Um, that's just gonna be how it works. It can be all of the above. It can be all of the above. Um, yeah, just troll. Yep. Should Edmonton draft Brady Noling? How many draft picks should Edmonton use on goalies? I mean, Edmonton. Do they even have any draft picks? But the Edmonton Oilers, man. I mean, look, the Edmonton Oilers can't be drafting goalies at this point. You need they're not going to save you. They're going to need, I don't know, but look, like they've had ample time to reflect on their own roster and their own issues in net. Nope. Nope. It's like Toronto. Yep, they're like Toronto. You're cooked. You're kind of cooked. You're having a rough go. I mean, I don't think the Oilers are cooked, but they're having a rough go, and I'm not sure you can do much about it. Yep, I'm not sure. You're right up against the salary cap. Yeah, I don't know. And I don't think Edmonton has a whole lot that other teams will want to acquire. Except for Connor McDavid, with that sweet $12.5 million cap hit that he which he so graciously took on. Yeah. How about a nice shiny Dennis Hildeby? Yeah. But to answer your question, Edmonton should use 0 on goalies. They should trade their draft picks for goalies. That's what they should do. Who, in your opinion, is a young depth under the radar player in the NHL you believe has star potential? Yeah. I mean, I still remain pretty steadfast that a guy like, I mean, it's a joke at this point, but like a guy like, no, a guy like Brad Lambert, like I look at some of the guys that the Winnipeg Jets are playing ahead of him, and I just don't see it. They're not giving him much of a run. I know he's asked for a trade, and I know that there's like lots of people saying, "Oh, his family sucks and he sucks and it's all crummy," and yeah, like I mean that's been floating around for years, but well, I mean, I see it as like this happened in his this happened in his draft year too, where when he asked for a trade or moved to teams from Jyväskylä, where I thought things were going very well, and he had a lot of really positive traits. He wanted to go back home. He got his way and went to Lahti, and things went down the toilet. And basically. But I mean, I guess it's like that's a guy who I think you give him the right line mates. Like who's he been? Who when they do play him this year, I'm pretty sure that they're playing him with nobody. Um, like it's like T.J. Ford and it's T.J. Ford and Cole Tepke, right? Um, right. Like like maybe maybe Nemesnikov and Iafallo for a little bit, but like that's not. Yes, the Jets are pretty bad. And he has been a net positive offensive player in the role that he's playing, which is like fourth line winger, which again, I don't think that's the job that he needs to be successful in the NHL. I look at him and go, if a team like if a team I'd be if he's really on the market, I'd be all over him. And if I especially if I'm a team like I don't know, who has a gap up the middle where they'd go, screw it, we'll try anybody. Like Calgary. I feel like Calgary should be all over a guy like that and just see how it goes. And I think he fits what Calgary's trying to be. Like based on the way Craig Conroy drafts and is looking at guys, I think he should be all over Brad Lambert and add him to the stable. Um, but I don't know if Winnipeg would do that. It really depends on what Winnipeg is expecting in return. But considering how Winnipeg has used him, um, but anyway, I'm a broken record on Lambert at this point, so I don't know if there's anyone else who comes to mind. Uh, like part of me wants to say Seamus Casey, but maybe not. Um, uh huh. I wonder the boy, the chosen one himself. Um,
I am muted on the stream. Apologies.
you're
It's the
weird.
boy. Obviously, the boy would be the best idea. Mr. Fabian Lascelles is who I would pitch. No,
Yeah,
I
I mean, he's
I
over
didn't
point
know I
game.
wasn't talking. That's what it was. I muted myself because I was doing because I have a tendency to fidget, and I didn't want people to pick up that I was clanging to quarters together because my ADHD meds have worn off. So sorry, everybody. That's what it was.
Yeah.
I have a
Yeah.
fidget problem. Okay, people. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just didn't want you to have to hear it. But yes, Fabian. For sure, it's
Yeah.
Fabian.
I mean, he's over a point a game in the AHL this year. So yeah, I mean, look, if he got scored on once, then I guess he
No,
sucks.
it wasn't him getting scored on. He clarified he scored a disgusting goal because he's awesome. Apparently,
Right.
your audio is a little off. I don't hear it,
Oh,
but
I do know that.
Oh,
I do
there
know
it
that
is.
when we talk, I do know when we talk over each other in this software, it messes with my audio.
Oh, okay. So I'll just try not to interrupt you. So it's
Uh,
all AJ's fault, like
Yes, it is.
always.
Yes, as always.
Dang.
Do you see Carson Carroll's ceiling as a number one? What do you think about these comparisons? Carroll's to Sanderson, people Ryan into Gudas with more transition ability. So, I mean, look, a number one defenseman in the NHL, it is what you want it to be. I don't I don't know exactly I mean, is he going to be one of the 30 best defensemen in the National Hockey League? I don't think so. Um, I think there's a lot of gaps in his game. Like the common thread for me, especially in that 2-game series, was a lot of those CHL defensemen. They had some real, and this is not uncommon for Canadian Hockey League defensemen, where they have some really impressive high end moments and some really scary moments in their own end. And I think Carroll's is no different from that. That said, he did have a lot of really, really impressive moments. I think he's one of these guys that might be that like Noah Hannafin esque player, where it's like, sure, I could see a top 4 guy who is productive and exciting to watch, but in terms of like, when he makes that, it's the thing for me is like not a question of like, is the player going to be useful in the NHL or not? It's going to be, if this player is drafted 10th overall or 5th overall or whatever, and the expectation is that they're going to be one of the highest paid players on your team, are they going to be worth $10 million in 5 years, right? Like, are they going to be, is Carson Carroll's going to be a $12 million defenseman when he's 26, right? Like Noah Hannafin is when he's 28 or whatever. He's making whatever he's making with the Vegas Golden Knights, and people are kind of noticing. Vegas fans are kind of looking at him and going like, "Well, he's not like bad, but we're paying him a lot of money, and there are some gaps in his game that are a bit of a problem." And Vegas is not having the best go of it lately, I believe, unless I'm mistaken on that.
They weren't for a little while, I know.
Yeah, but I mean, I think a lot of that also comes down to some goaltending problems they've been having. But I guess that's besides the point. I mean, I think Carroll's has a lot of offensive upside. I think there are some really exciting rush offense moments out of him. Defensively, it's typical. Like there's a lot of CHL guys who are just not the best defensive players. So if he can shore that up, if the skating can take another step and he can become that sort of offensive leaning guy that you sort of live with in the zone end, then he could be whatever you want him to be, right? Could he run a power play? Sure, right? Could he play 25 minutes a night? You could try it. I don't see why not. But for me, I think there's a lot of gaps in his game that scare me a little bit. And I always look at defensemen from their own end out. And I think about the offensive zone play a lot less than most people, I think. And that kind of steers me a little bit away from him. Sanderson is an interesting comparison, but I think Sanderson, if anything, for the first half of his draft year was like the inverse Carroll's, where the skating was exceptional and just that defensive play was really, really good. And it was a matter of like encouragement to get him to play a little more offensively. And that flipped a switch in the back half of the year and he became really, really good all of a sudden. And I don't know what will happen with Carroll's from here until the end of the year. I mean, I did say Hannafin there for Carroll's. I don't know if that's a direct 1-to-1 comparison. I haven't seen enough of
It kind of
Hannafin
never
on what I've seen.
is.
Right. Yeah. No. I mean, Sanderson to me, like if anything, you mentioned Piperinen is Gudis. I think Piperinen is a little bit of Jake Sanderson there, where like Piperinen is very good on his feet. I think when I watch him at Liga, the level in Liga, I see a guy who is never really doing anything like wrong. He's in the right spots a lot of the time. He's covering ice really, really well. He's keeping the game safe and effective. But the offense, it's like you want to see a little bit more confidence, a little more oomph out of his game. The other one I'd throw out there is Adam Gollier. That's another defenseman who I think has kind of shades of that really strong defense first style of game at this age that Sanderson had. And it's like there's offense there, but it doesn't come out often, and it could maybe come out a little more. And maybe it will. I just don't see that like mean, nasty physical defending that like a Gudis sort of leads with a lot of the time. With Piperinen, I think he's more of a finesse defender, like skating first defender that honestly strikes me as a lot more similar to a guy like Sanderson at this age than Carroll's does, or Carl's. But yeah, solid players though. Like I had nothing against Carson Carl's. It's just a matter of like where I have him relative to most other people. Okay, so at least this person is real. Thoughts on Nicholas Ulesi, who is oh yeah, I forgot to mention this. When I was in Spain, I thought, oh, like there's I'm so excited. Like there's a Spanish league, and I wonder if there's a team in any of the cities I'm going to. And the answer to that is no, because I was in the south. But I found out that Porto in Portugal actually has a team in that league now, and so does Andorra. So Andorra has a team in the Spanish National League.
Awesome.
So you have the Andorra Hockey Club facing off against FC Barcelona, which you want to. There's a weird sentence.
Yeah.
But they play against each other.
There's a lot of like the European clubs all like they have teams in every league. Like one of the things that we have on the channel that I work for, Game Plus, we have La Liga basketball. So it's kind of hilarious to see that happen too, where it's like Barcelona versus Real Madrid. I'm doing El Clasico, just not the El Clasico that I envisioned.
Right. But yeah, I mean, look, Nicolas Ulesi is a 30-year-old Spanish or Italian Finn playing in Portugal for HC Porto. He was a under point a game player in the 4th Finnish division last year, and he has 12 points in his first 4 games with Porto in Portugal this year. So that's the kind of level of competition we're talking about here. Andorra Hockey Club, by the way, they've played 9 games. They've lost all of them. Oh no, they won 1 in overtime. But they've given up 82 goals in those 9 games. So that's fun. But unfortunately, no teams were playing when I was there. Cergy Pontoise, home of the Hostain twins in France, they were playing while I was in Paris, but I did not have the time to get on the RER train and go all the way out to Cergy Pontoise because it was the day I flew into Paris and I was very, very sleepy. And that just was not going to work. So big sad. I was really hoping to get to a League Magnus game and surprise everybody with that, but I couldn't.
But you looked, and that's all that mattered because
I
Will.
was gonna buy tickets, but I didn't get there.
Because Will loves obscure hockey, like your Thai legend. What's that kid's name? Hanapunt. I know that's the end of his last name.
Nacho Yanathan Punt. Yeah. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Yep. Elite 2026 NHL draft prospect.
I have never watched him once, and I probably never will.
He moved. He's playing in North America now. He's playing I think USPHL, something like that. Nachayatorn Yanakorn Tanapunt. That's his name. If you don't know who that is, welcome to the show.
You do now.
You do now. Elite Thai hockey player. Yeah, he's playing in Gatineau.
Amazing.
Playing in the USPHL Premier League for the Universal Collège Gatineau. So there's that. Too bad he's 5'9". No chance he gets drafted.
Somebody from that program is a fan of the show. That's all. That's the only way that guy's there.
For sure.
I mean, whoever you are, congratulations, and Will expects a premium.
I was more than happy to also last summer or this spring, I should say, meet the head coach of the team that brought a couple of Mongolian guys over to play in Ontario last season, and now there's 2 more Mongolians playing on that team this year. And that was a lot of fun.
Growing.
They are, yes, they are. Mongolians, man. They're a hoot. They're up and comers.
No, they're a throat sing.
Yep.
Use you.
That should be there's your goal song right there, you know. A bit of Hunhur too when you score a goal and all that stuff. Anyway, is Easton Cowan really as solid as the stats show? Well, it depends on what you mean by stats, but I think Easton Cowan's been good for the Leafs. I mean, I think
he's been all right.
He's been about what I expected, like a really smart playmaker with a good competitive streak, who is a bit small, but like kind of gets over it pretty easily. I think he's a guy who depends a lot on who he's playing with in order to get actual points on the board. But I don't think Cowan has ever been the type of player where it's like his individual play has been like lackluster, you know? I think he's a player that if you play him tight defensively and if you really stick to him, you can kind of shut him down a little bit, as I think we saw at the World Juniors last year. But that being said, though, like he thinks really quickly on his feet. He makes really good plays a lot of the time. I think he is something the Leafs desperately need and will need going into the future. I think he's a really good example of a modern sort of top 9 NHL two-way guy who may not be the most incredible player in the league, but a solid one nonetheless. And he's been moderately productive, I think, so far. I don't have it in front of me. I don't have it in front of me, but I don't know. The point is, decent player. Always has been a really interesting lesson for me coming out of the NHL draft when he was picked. Because when he was picked, I don't think I was super critical of it. It was a little strange, but based on how smart he was, like it kind of makes sense. And now I just know that that's the type of player that Kyle Dubas and Wes Clark really, really love. What do you make of a team like Calgary coming out and saying they don't want to rebuild and trade off pieces? Yeah, so I read about that, and I don't know. I think I could be wrong. I'm not a Calgary Flames fan. I don't know the ins and outs, but like, I feel like when stuff like this happens, I don't know. I don't like to automatically jump to these people are morons level of like commentary on stuff like this, where I'd rather think or believe or try to see it from the perspective of like, well, what could they possibly mean that actually makes sense with that? And I think the conversation surrounded like, well, you don't want to trade Nazem Kadri. If anything, we need more Nazem Kadris. I believe that's kind of the quote that people were getting up in arms about. And I see the point where you go, oh my God, yeah, but like, look at us. We need to get rid of Nazem Kadri because he's worth something. And I'm sure Calgary is number one saying, well, to the league, it's like, well, if you want Nazem Kadri, we don't want to trade him, so pony up, which I think is the right call.
Mhm.
But also, the Calgary Flames are in the dumps. They've got a lot of draft picks already. They've drafted a lot over the last couple of years. They're going to draft a lot this year. So I get the appeal of going, well, we need to trade him to draft more guys. And I get that, but at the same time, Nazem Kadri is the type of player, I would make the argument, that is probably a net positive to have lying around on the Calgary Flames while you have all these young guys trying to find their way and work their way up the lineup.
He
Like,
absolutely is.
I'm not saying you trade him for sure, and I'm not saying you don't, but what I'm saying is like what I think they're trying to get at is like if you trade a Nazem Kadri, it's really hard to like replace that type of a person and like that type of a like I think there is such a thing as leadership, right? Like I think and I think with Nazem Kadri, especially knowing his experience at Toronto, he went through a lot here, right? Like people were calling him fat. He was like late for practices and getting scratched and had like a bit of like an emotional streak at times that kind of got him in hot water. And obviously the suspensions in the playoffs leading to him getting traded were very, 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 very bad. But like it's not because he didn't care. And it's not because he didn't bust his butt when he played hockey, right? Like he's the type of person that you want on your team and he still has value. So like it's at the point where if Calgary had no draft picks and if Calgary hadn't drafted a bunch of guys over the last couple of years, then I might be like, well, yeah, you probably want to sell and get going on a rebuild and all that stuff. But like they're a youngish team. They've got young guys in the minors. They've drafted a bunch of guys who aren't even there yet. And so it's like the math on it, I kind of see the logic of like, unless we're getting exactly what we want for a Nazem Kadri, and we are sure that the power vacuum after he's gone is not going to really sink the long-term trajectory of this team, then sure, we'll do it. But I mean, it may very well be that the Calgary Flames still think that they can keep it going after their season last year, and that they're a piece or two away from a contending team. And if that's what they believe, then God love them. I fair enough, I guess. But I just have to believe that considering how they've played this year, the fact, like the idea of them adding another veteran as if that's going to fix something, it's like Toronto, right? Like Toronto could trade their 2028 first round pick. I actually had a dream that they traded that draft pick for Yaroslav Askarov. I don't know why that made sense, but I had a dream of that. But if they trade that pick for the next Scott Lawton, or another veteran guy who's going to help them win now, is it really going to is it really going to help them out so much that it's going to transform the team in a good way? I don't know. I don't think so. So I don't think Calgary is there either. But if they believe it, then they believe it. I have to give them the benefit of the doubt and think it's more about the role that he plays and the job that he has and how important a guy like that is on a team that is in their situation long term, right? If they thought they were really, really, really good, they wouldn't have drafted a cajillion players over the last few years, right? Like there's a lot of things going on there that they must be at least some level of aware that they're not, or at least probably not, a likely contender.
It also is really important, like Will said, to have somebody like that. Like,
I'm a full believer in that.
Will is my kind of guidance in life. I go to him. He's my big brother, essentially. Like, I learned really quickly, or not really quickly, because it took me a while to learn this, but I learned from Will, like, a year and a half ago to, like, getting into this year that life's not a race, because I was, like, really trying to propel myself as fast as possible to get to whatever position I really wanted to get. And it's just, like, having somebody older to give you perspective who understands what you're going through to an extent and can guide you into a place where you're doing better for yourself is really important. It's like this year I'm sleeping more because Will has kind of encouraged me to take care of myself a little better, and like some of the things that we've talked about privately. Like Will is my Nazem Kadri, only he doesn't throw temper tantrums in the
Not all the
playoffs.
time. I don't throw temper tantrums very often.
So like it is important. Like Will is kind of my guide. So
Yeah.
I've got my big brother from another mother to rely on, and you need that. You need somebody who can do that, especially a guy who's won a cup in Colorado too. Like he's, I know, no, definitely not, but it's like that guy has so much worldly experience that he can provide and so much insight in a way that a lot of other players won't have because he dealt with the brunt of the Toronto media. So like that's a guy you want to keep, I think. Like I just think I'm trying to really add on to the point that Will made because I think it is a very good point.
Okay. The U.S. left. Yeah, Cullen Potter did not make the U.S. World Junior Camp roster, which
that's ridiculous.
The Cullen Potter that had 11 points in his last 10 games in the NCAA after a bad start.
That's because he didn't want to play with the USNTDP last year.
Yeah. Jacob Kvasnica is going to be there in camp, and I love Jacob Kvasnica, but that is a take. So look, you know, be my guest, do your thing. Whatever. He sucks, I guess, is the point. Cullen Potter is it's over. The Cullen party is over. All the haters, all
the plug on Potter.
All the Scouch red pills out there are all correct again. Oh no, we suck again, you know, yada yada yada. It's over. He's just gonna have to go out and score 30 points in the down the stretch of the NCAA season. I mean, I'm not too cut up about it. It is what it is. Let's see.
People can choose to be stupid. You know, that's my thought.
They are a good team. Like that that US team looks pretty darn good with or without him.
But is it a dumb decision?
Right. It's not the best. I feel like he's the type of I feel like he's the type of player you want up the middle of any team these days, but what do I know? Is there an issue with Canadian NHL? Have you watched any of the San Jose Barracuda? I have not, honestly. I have not seen much of the AHL this year. Honestly, a lot of it comes down to how good this year's draft class looks, and I've just been so busy up until this past week with just like trying to get a good foundation of like, okay, who do I focus on the most? And I just keep bouncing around, and it's tough. So I don't really have a whole lot of time or mental capacity to like sit down and watch a lot of AHL tape, but I do want to do at least Chernyshov for a video room once I get more settled after the trip. I want to get those going over the next month or so.
Content's coming back, guys. It's coming back. Okay,
yeah, we're gonna start churning more stuff out now that we need to get things moving.
Especially once the Super Bowl's done.
Yeah, once the Super Bowl's over. But yeah, I have not seen much going on there, but I do know that they are doing pretty well, and that especially Chernyshov does not surprise me particularly. And it does not surprise me that Musty can score at that level as of right now. Is there an issue with Canadian NHL teams being stubborn about the way they do things, even if it is objectively not right? As an American, this is an observation I've noticed about some executives. I think you're correct.
Mm-hmm.
I look at how Hockey Canada operates in general. I think that there is politics at play. I think the thing that I think is fascinating in America, and it's one of the things I love about America, is they don't really care about the process or like how it's done. If it works, do it. Like if it makes you
Good and
money,
bad thing. Good and a bad thing.
it can be a good and a bad thing, right? Like it's about balance. But if you're an American hockey team, if you own that team, you can't generally just put your feet up and sit back and go, I'm going to count my money now. I don't have to do anything. My team could win 20 games and I'm still going to be fine. If your team is crappy forever and your fans hate you, you might lose your team. Like you genuinely might lose money on your investment if you do that, right? And that's an American's worst nightmare, losing money on an investment. A Canadian's worst nightmare is spending money on an investment. Like that's the difference.
That isn't helped by the government.
Well, yeah, exactly. If the government's not helping you out in Canada, nobody wants to give you any money.
Exactly.
Unless it's a mortgage or something, right? But whatever. The point I'm trying to make is that Americans, by and large, in my experience, they have a much more business-minded approach to everything. And there is a I don't care if analytics are true or not. Tell me what you think, and if you are right, I will financially reward you. And it's like, you win, great. You will be rewarded for winning. In Canada, it feels like there is this like way of doing things. Like a lot of teams seem to have this like image of how the sport should be presented and played, and it's like this like it's a cultural like cornerstone of our society, and if you don't play that like traditional like rough and tumble farm boy hockey up and down your lineup, then you won't be good. And I think that in America
Or you're too soft and can't win.
Exactly. And I think American owners or whatever, but a lot of them will look at that and go, well, maybe, but like I don't know about that so much.
No, I just think they don't care. I don't even think I don't even think it comes into their like orbit. It's, can I succeed? I think it's very individually focused. Where Canadians are just teams, as you're saying, we have to do it this way, and like there's all this talk of, oh, this team needs more snarl, they need more snot, they need more bite. All this BS.
It's a death sentence. Like once you start living life like that as a hockey team, I think that's your death sentence. Like we've talked about this so many times, but like I think Canadian teams especially, I think they inaccurately identify a thing that is legitimate. Like I think they look at, and I know a lot of Canadian teams made the playoffs last year. I would say that the Montreal Canadiens,
I think, is in the playoff spot this year.
Yes,
and
I
that's
would say
the Ottawa Senators.
Montreal is a team that is, I would say, I mean, and Kent Hughes is American, right? He's not Canadian, right? Or is he from Montreal?
Montreal.
Yeah, I think he's from Montreal. You're right. I'm mixing up the Hughes families. He's from Beaconsfield, Quebec. Okay, right. So I'm mixing up. I'm mashing the Hughes families together. But I think they're on the right track. And look at how off the board they went with a guy like St. Louis, right? I look at like Ottawa as a team that I think is turning things around. You know, it seems like generally they've worked their way into being a playoff team. But like, and I think Calgary is on the right path, but they're not there yet. But like, you look at Edmonton and you look at Vancouver and you look at Toronto, especially now.
Please don't look at them, please.
And it's just that traditional hockey mentality that also just seems to be a bit of a spinning your wheels in the mud type problem. And I also will say, like, look at how the Colorado Avalanche are built this year, and look at how good they've been. Like, I can't believe that's not the model. I mean, I guess it means they just have to win the Stanley Cup to get people to go at that model. But I always look at things as like, how do you beat the team that everybody wants to be? That's my mentality all the time. Is like everybody wants to be Florida. Okay, fair enough. How do you win against a team like that? How do you beat them? And I think the way that you do it in 2025, granted, Florida's not the dominant team right now. I think you play it like a team like Colorado, where you've got speedy, gifted forwards and creative, skilled defensemen, and you just pick apart your opponent and you blow through them. And it does not matter how hard they play, how skilled they play, you can keep up. And I'm curious to see how their season goes, but I don't think it's a Canadian wide thing, but I do think there is a cultural difference, and you can see it in the broadcast qualities, right? Like the way the game is analyzed
Oh
in
God,
Canada
yes you can.
relative to the way the game is analyzed in the U.S. I think it's completely different because I think there's an air of like necessity in America to really understand the nitty gritty details of everything in a really good way. Um,
Here it's more
I mean,
traditional. It's lame. I hate it. I hate it. Bring back Joe Bowen, please. Even though he's about to retire.
once we're the 51st state, everything will get better.
Exactly.
Are there any serious holes in Stenberg's play style that won't translate? I mean, I think for what he is, I think he will translate just fine. I think that the give and goes, the passing vision, the forechecking ability, it's all really, really good. The skill in chaotic situations is excellent with him. I just don't think he's going to be like the guy. I think he's going to be very productive. I think he's going to be very important on your team. But in terms of like driving pucks out of his own end, being that sort of heavy defensive presence that all over the ice is a major, major focal point, I don't think he's going to be that. But like, I don't think he's going to be far off from that. I think he's going to be really good at a whole bunch of different stuff that you definitely need to have in the NHL. So I'm not really concerned about Stenberg translating really at all. And I mean I haven't seen him in a little while, but I've loved every game I've seen of him by and large. Um, Imagine Boston drafting Mathis Preston 6th overall. Yeah, I mean that would be fun if you're not a Leafs fan for
Please
sure.
no. Please no.
Where will Mason West go in the NFL draft? Well, I guess the better question would be over under where he was taken in the NHL draft, right? No, I don't know. I know there are football people smarter than me in the Scouching Discord server who have really enjoyed the Mason West coverage of his football career for mixed reasons, I'll say. But it's been very fun because I don't know anything about football. And so seeing other people who I think know more about it than I do, which is more than zero, is pretty fun.
Yeah, because you like the CFL better than the NFL, which is crazy.
Yeah, I know.
You're
but
stupid.
I don't care.
You're stupid.
I don't care. And yeah, no, whatever. Thoughts on Maddox Dagenet after the prospect series, dude? I thought he was great. I did not expect him to look how he did. Actually, I was talking to Joel Henderson today, and because Henderson, he was there. Like he said to me, he's like, I am so tired of watching under 15 Saskatchewan hockey. I want to die. And I said, well, like you could watch the CHL prospects games and give me your takes and let me copy them. And he said, okay, well, but before I do, what's your hottest take from it? And I went, I think my hottest take was that Maddox Dagenet looked better than Ethan Belchetz in those games. Like I thought Dagenet was flying and physical and up and down the ice really well, making plays off the boards and really driving a lot of really good play himself. And especially in the first game. Um and I mean there's no and then to that story. That's just kind of what I said on that question because I thought he was really really good. And again, it's just 2 games. I'm not going to throw out Ethan Belchetz. I'm not throwing Dagenet top 10. But I mean, it also does not surprise me after those 2 games that someone like Jason Bukala would have Maddox Dagenet at like 20 after that, right? Like I can see why. But it's also like I don't know if you might want to get a bigger sample than that on this, and you might want to see some other guys in some other situations because you got to be really careful with this because a lot of guys don't have the luxury of playing in those games. Those European guys, I think there's a lot of really good Europeans this year who were not there. So we'll see. Can you make the case to defend Barry Trotz in his role of general manager of Nashville, or should someone else take over? I don't think it's really tough because I'm not there. I think that Barry Trotz's role and his tenure has been, I would say, mixed. I can see where he was coming from, and I think it's, again, you have to be really careful because at the time of those signings, if I'm mistaken, you can tell me. I don't think people were that critical
I
of the
wasn't.
ideas.
I wasn't.
I don't think
I
people
liked
looked
it.
at Barry. I thought people looked at Barry Trotz and went, "I see what they're doing. They're rebuilding, but they don't want to bottom out. They're getting guys that prevent them from bottoming out, and they're paying good money because they can afford it. And we'll see where it goes." Now, it has not worked at all, but I guess it just goes back to a bigger discussion of, like, in any situation, if you are putting a person in a position to do a job and everybody can kind of get behind you in the decisions that you want to make, and you go, I want to implement this plan, and everybody is with you on it, and it just does not go according to that plan, but you still have that other part where it's like, okay, but we're drafting and developing guys. Nashville does have some guys that are doing really well in their respective leagues. They've drafted pretty well, all things considered. Here and there, I would have done things differently, but, like, whatever. I think by and large, Nashville's done a pretty good job adding talent. And so it's like, just because of the signings that this guy made that everybody supported, a few years down the line when things haven't worked, do you turn around and go, well, that guy's a moron? It's like, I don't think you can do that as easily. I think you also I think the Nashville Predators understand that this is not a time where they expected to, like, truly be competitive, but I guess they expected to at least be a bubble team, a playoff team, maybe. Be as good as they could be while these young guys developed. And it just hasn't really worked out. I don't know what the future holds for Barry Trotz. I don't think it's as easy as firing him,
No.
because I don't know what they do instead other than get younger and younger and whatever. But
They've also only had two. He's the second general manager in franchise history.
exactly. Yeah,
This is not the culture of the Nashville Predators. I think,
Yeah.
like, going into his that first off season, I was fairly positive on the moves. It didn't work out because they were kind of like slower, older players, I think, ultimately. I was a little more miffed at, like, him letting Tomasino go for cheap and then signing Novak and then letting him go. Like, those have been the things where I'm like, why are you trading away young, useful players for basically nothing? That's been where I've been critical, I think, and I think it is fair to criticize him, but I don't think he's, like, completely ruined this team.
No.
They took some shots in the dark to try and turn it around. Or maybe not shots in the dark. They took some shots at guys who they thought could turn it around, and I and many others were very positive on it. Didn't work out. I think he's made questionable moves along the way, but you don't pivot from this yet. You got to give him some more time, because this is also the guy who is one of the greatest coaches, in my opinion, of all time. Like, he's an excellent coach. Maybe not of all time, but he's an excellent coach. Guy who pushed the Islanders to a spot they probably shouldn't have been. Guy who got Ovi's cup. Like, this is a really good, smart hockey person. Maybe the general manager role is still something he's growing into potentially, and we'll see. Like, he's not a stupid person.
Yeah. How's our boy Adam Anderson doing? And if you had a chance to see Bilecki, it's been so long. I don't know. Who is this? Alexander Bilecki? Oh no, I have not. I remember you asking about him, but I will put him on the list so I don't forget. But Anderson, I saw him at the Five Nations tournament a little bit, and I thought he was pretty good. I thought he was pretty good. I don't have too many huge notes. Boy, there's a lot of guys I still haven't seen. Bilecki and Zoo on that team.
You'll get around to it.
For Kitchener, I know. But yeah, Adam Anderson. I think Anderson, again, it's one of those things where it's like, A lot of people are looking into Caleb Malhotra as a top 5 guy. Fair enough. All right, I get it. But I think Adam Anderson brings a lot of things to the game that project good to the NHL too, right? Like I think he is a lot of upside. I think he's a guy who the skill level for he's big and he's young, and the skill level he's got is really strong. The point production hasn't been quite there. Certainly hasn't kept up with a guy like Malhotra. I just don't think it's that easy to do that. I don't know. It's like the thing is like, if you can get a Malhotra at 5, fair enough. But if you can get an Anderson at 65, that's a pretty darn good option too. And I maybe he's a 4th line center, right? Like maybe he's that David Edstrom type, maybe a 4th line, maybe 3rd line center. Okay, fair enough. And Caleb Malhotra is a 3rd line, maybe 2nd line center. All right, fair enough, right? But like you spent a top 5 on one, a 3rd round pick on another. And it's like a matter of value proposition and all those things. And yes, I'm not obviously saying I'm not obviously saying like, Anderson is better than Malhotra or something, but when you look at the two
Value
side by side,
perspective, right?
from
Like
a
where
val-
are you
yeah, the
getting where are you
opportunity-
getting that from?
yeah, the opportunity cost is very different.
Yes.
But anyway,
That's
yeah.
the term.
But he's been pretty good. I think he's a guy who also, it's just like, he should get better. Like, I think he's not there yet, but you give him a few years, he'll get better and better. Like Koblar. So Adam Anderson
hope
to the least
so.
is what I'm saying. It's nice to see Jesper Wallstedt become the NHL goalie we hoped. No kidding, eh? I mean, that's a story there. I forgot about that until because I cannot believe how good he's been. Like last year, there are people already being like, "See, I told you he wasn't bad. I told you he was sick," and it's like, I don't know, man. Last year he looked really terrible and like broken.
But that's
know.
goalies, man. Goalies are a confidence-based position, and it's so much harder to evaluate them because we cannot know what they are thinking and feeling at all times.
He was also fighting injuries last year too, but
Yep.
I mean,
which could also weigh on your mental, on your just mental health, really, and cause you to doubt yourself more because you're not at your full complement of health.
This guy in November is undefeated. He had and in those 6 games, a .926 save percentage, shutout, 933, shutout, 951. Like in his last 5 games, his save percentage is a 973. His last 10, it's a 938. Like, he has been outstanding, and I'm very happy about that. I'm not complaining. I think he still looked awful last season, like troublingly terrible. But, geez, man, I poked in a little bit while I was away because I saw all these shutouts piling up. Yeah, Minnesota now has 2 very, very good goaltenders in net for them. And unfortunately for my fantasy team, I've got Gustafsson. And it looks like Wallstedt is very quickly coming for his job. As much as that is great for him, not so good for me. I worry about
good for your 2021 rankings because you had him very high.
Makes me look smart. Yes, I did. I did.
You had him at 3, right?
Yeah. Yes, I did. I worry about Jack Black's health. Well,
we're all gonna die someday.
Yeah, I'm sure he appreciates it. We're all gonna die. It's true.
Just make an impact in the world today, and hope that you're remembered tomorrow.
Yeah,
but I try and do. But clearly, not all of you care about me, so I'm not accomplishing my goals. Screw you all. No.
Thoughts on Owen King? Owen King. Is that the member of the Greater Sudbury Cubs? He's sick.
What? Greater Sudbury?
Greater Sudbury.
That's a thing?
Yep.
What
Greater
is it?
Sudbury Cubs.
What does it encompass? Another 2-kilometer radius?
Oh, let's see. Actually, let's not see. Nobody cares. Let's move on. Who takes the championship in Abu Dhabi? Okay, no, I can't read the rest of that because I haven't caught up on the races since I left. So I'm gonna stop. I'm not gonna read. I'm going to scroll right past it and look at the next one. I'm sorry, but I can't do F1 because I need to catch up, and I'm trying to avoid spoilers. Same thing with Survivor, by the way. Thoughts on Ethan Wittenbach's season? Another player I'm surprised didn't get a camp invite for Team USA this year. He's been really good. Super skilled, super fun player to watch. I'm really happy for him because I liked him last year. There's a lot of good things in his game that were going pretty well last year. The skill, the finishing ability. I still think that he might, you'll have to see the 200-foot impact he brings might be a little bit up in the air, and I think that's why he wasn't drafted pretty high last year. But that being said, the skill level's undeniable, the fun factor's undeniable, and there's a lot to like. So yeah, we'll see where it goes with him, but I would have liked to see him at the World Juniors if maybe they wanted to give him a look. Could Lafreniere become a star if he's traded out of New York, or is he just doomed to be middle six? I don't
think he's
know
doomed
if
to
I
be a
see
middle
it.
six.
I think he's just a middle six complimentary guy now.
And that's fine, but
yeah,
it's just not good enough for where they took him, sadly.
I'm surprised how quickly Seneca's made an impact. If you got a chance to watch him, not a lot. And his whole thing, him and Cutter Goche both are guys where in the NHL, like, I get the appeal of drafting a guy like those guys really high. And I know Anaheim didn't draft Cutter Goche, but like why he and Seneca they were both really late in the season, rocketing up people's lists. And like, I see why, because their skill level and the size and the finishing ability on their own is all really impressive, but their overall impact is the questionable bit. And when I look at when I look at Beckett Seneca, it is about what I expected, right? Like they've slapped him on a line with Cutter Goche and Mason McTavish, two I think really good offsetting players for him.
Yep.
And his overall results have been very positive offensively and very negative defensively, which, knowing Beckett Seneca from watching him over the last few years, is exactly kind of what you get with him, right? Where he's not a two-way guy, but the overall talent and the skill level and the individuality in his game is really, really strong. So I felt similarly about a guy like Cutter Goche as well. And Mason McTavish having that glue to like paste that type of a line together on both ends of the puck makes a lot of sense to me. It's a lot of fun. And what I've seen of Seneca this year, he's a lot of fun. I think he's a really good example of a fun player that is really, really exciting and may not be perfect every time you see him on the ice, but he's fun. So yeah.
Sorry, I'm just cackling at that Uphill or King Karios's comment. Greater Sudbury sounds like a crappy EU4 formable.
Oh god.
Yes, it does.
It's true.
But you can form Canada in that game.
Yeah.
I've never tried, and I never will.
Is Logan Stewart supposed to be at 22? Let me double check that, but I think so. I love Logan Stewart. Yeah, that is where he's supposed to be. I mean, I know he's not scoring a ton this year, but I think also at the top prospect series games, like you just see he's such a gifted skater, so fast and so aggressive and really skilled. I think I have him too high. I should probably bump him down a chunk. But in terms of like the transition game, like he reminds me a little bit of how I felt about like a Brad Lambert, but Lambert was playing in Liga, where he's a little undersized, but like you can't fault the effort, you can't fault the work rate, you can't fault just how hard Logan Stewart sort of works to earn the opportunities he gets. The speed is kind of the calling card. He's such an electrifying guy up the middle of the ice, thrives in open ice. I think he's part of one of the most fun lines in the draft right now between him, Jamie Glantz, and Victor Plante. Those three guys together have been a lot of fun to watch this year. And Stewart anchors them really, really well on both sides of the puck, but especially offensively.
But I just like him.
I just like him, yeah. But we'll watch him in the server together at some point, I'm sure. Bedard's season has me wondering to what extent it's justified to bet on pure talent when drafting in the top tier, even if it takes time to adapt. I suppose it's mostly a mental and mindset thing. Yeah, I mean, look, the thing about him is the offensive ability was undeniable. And the defensive game, it's still questionable at the very least, right? Like like Bedard's not going to be a 200-foot guy, but the more like the thing that he I think has really grown in terms of in the NHL over the last season or so is just how explosive he's become. Like he is a guy who becomes very difficult to get on top of if you challenge him. And I think before it was a little bit more skill and possession oriented rather than just like blazing. He's almost like Connor McDavid out there now, where it's like it does not matter what you do. It's just he's gonna try to blow right through you. A really, really interesting player where that's yeah, like that's a elite, he's an elite level talent, right? There was no denying that. Um, I think he's got better surroundings as well. The vibes are better in Chicago for sure. We'll see where he's at by the end of the year, but I have really enjoyed watching him this year. Like, I don't, even at the time, I had some doubts about Bedard, but I would not have drafted him anywhere but one. Like, you bet on it and you bring him along well. The only reason I might have skipped him is if I interviewed him and he was just, I'm not, if he was like, I'm never going to listen to anybody. I'm never going to listen to a coach. I'm never going to do this and this and this and this, and I'm just going to do my thing. Then I'd be like, okay. But I don't think that's the case. I don't think that has been the case. I don't think whatever. It's just been a growing experience. And in his case, yeah, it makes sense. All makes sense. Interestingly, Nikishin's offensive game in the KHL has translated to the NHL. His defensive is a work in progress, but it's developing well. I mean, that's basically what we said he was last year, right? Like, I remember you and I watched Nikishin last year. We did not think his defensive game was particularly good.
I didn't think he was. I thought he was just fine. You know,
But
like
his shot is insane. Like,
sure.
you plop him on a power play and he can shoot the puck like very few other guys. And like, yeah, like people were talking about him like he was the best player.
He was,
outside
wasn't
the
he
NHL.
two? Wasn't he two
like,
on
yeah.
like Craig Button's top 50
Exactly.
affiliated or some
Something
crap like
That's-
that? I had to stop myself there.
But to me, like second pair, you know, like number 4 guy, sure, I could see it.
Yeah,
For sure.
at the maximum, right? Like I like him as a bottom pair guy.
Yeah. And he's
For now.
already like 24 now. Like I
Yeah.
think he just turned 24. Like, you know, you're kind of getting what you get out of him, I think. I mean, he'll get more experience, he'll improve for sure, but that is kind of what he is. He's kind of what he's been forever, in my view. Who is Braden Bowman? Did you see him as draft year? I do have notes on Braden Bowman, actually. I mean, you know, you make the NHL when a coach says you make the NHL. I am very surprised that Braden Bowman has found his way into the NHL. I'm not saying that because like, oh, I'm shaking my fist at the sky. But this is a guy who, like, I had notes on him when he was with Guelph in 2022. I think was when he was there, and I kind of thought, okay, like this is an interesting, big, strong winger. Like, scored some good goals and blah 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 blah, and scored a lot of points down the stretch, and that's great. But I mean, we'll see where things go from here for him. But he is a big, strong, fast guy who can attack in a straight line, very like Zach Ostapchuk like, but obviously he's had a little more success in terms of point production than Ostapchuk has. But yes, I am surprised based on what I remember of him in junior hockey, but you know, good for him. Cool. It's funny how Liga has the strategy to skate up the ice at the same time. Yeah, it's true. That is a pretty amazing thing. Explain Buffalo. Yeah, I was gonna say Buffalo is close to Canada. Buffalo is basically Canada, so there you go.
A lot of people in the Niagara Falls region that cheer for Buffalo.
Yeah. I mean, and
they're
just,
honorary Canadians. That's why they're terrible.
I mean, the other thing too is like the Buffalo Sabres recently have like at least the success hasn't been there, but in terms of the personnel that they're hiring, it's pretty clear that Terry Pagula isn't like. It feels like the problem in Buffalo is that Pagula himself cares about his own input too much. But in terms of the people that he puts in place to like make things happen, you know, Kevin Adams, I don't know enough to judge one way or the other, but like, for example, like I know Sam Ventura, like I've met him and I've heard him talk, and he's a smart guy. Like he's their analytics guy, and he is really smart. And I talked to him about the draft strategy there and how they kind of see things and all that. And I like how they do things. It's just a matter of seeing it through and finding some level of success. Like, I think you look at that team and I see guys like Jack Quinn and I see guys like Owen Power, and I look at that and I just go, what if, right? Like, what if that were Matty Beniers and Marco Rossi, right? What does that team look like with those two guys up the middle of the ice? You know, those Power and Quinn are good players, but you look at what the Sabres have on paper right now, and I just think that team looks so much better if they just tweak a few things at the top end of the draft here and there. Their defense group isn't amazing without Owen Power, but you work around that. I think you try to work around that.
But it's not amazing with Owen Power.
It's not. Yeah, I don't know. I think that there is a very curious guy there. But
But
I
you're
don't
also
know.
forgetting the most important part, Will. No palm trees.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. No palm trees.
I love that. I'm never gonna let that go. That is so
But-
amazing. We don't
but
have palm
Buffalo-
trees here.
Yes, but Buffalo is.
When has hockey ever had palm trees? Huh?
Yeah.
Just because it's a destination doesn't matter, man. Figure out your crap. Like I don't know. It feels like Kevin Adams has been the general manager for a long time now. Feels like, because he was there during the COVID year.
Yes. Yep.
And this ship hasn't turned around.
I don't
So,
think. I think he. If you want to talk about a GM who might be wearing out their welcome, I think it's him.
I think it's time to go.
Whether or not it's his fault directly,
Yep.
like, I don't know if he's the guy.
And I agree with that 100%.
Like, I think he puts the right people in place. I don't know. I mean, Lindy Ruff. I don't know, man. Like, he's been a head coach in Buffalo for what feels like 30 years.
Because he's
and
been there. Isn't this his third stint?
I think so.
His third
And
stint.
I think Buffalo is a team that's trying to have their cake and eat it too, where they have this like younger group of people on the team who are trying to take the team in a certain direction, but they have like the Lindy Ruff behind the bench, and they're trying to do a bunch of stuff all at once, and I just don't know if it's working. I don't know, and I don't think you can just blow it up and rebuild the team again. I don't think they're that far from being decent either. It's just a matter of like tweaking things here and there and finding some goaltending that can help. Like, I don't know. It's tough. They're in a
And
tough
fixing the
spot.
D group.
Well, yes, they need a couple of defensemen for sure. Am I wrong for viewing Stenberg as the perfect wingman to a superstar? I don't think so. Thoughts on Matvei Gradin's season this year? Killing it in the AHL. The points were never going to be a doubt for him. He's so skilled. The more he plays, the more he skates, the more he moves his feet, the better he's going to be. If he's been excellent in the AHL, then that's great, because he's always been a very, very, very talented player. Calgary loves their skill guys these days, and he's a good one. Mason West only got offers from teams in weaker conferences like Kent State and Marshall, not a hotbed for NFL talent. Fair enough. The only Division I offer he got was from Marshall, not draft eligible for a few years, and he wouldn't be drafted out of Marshall. That's what I've been told, so I believe it. Did you watch the OT in the CHL USA game? All I will say is that light defense led to the final goal. I did not. I don't think. I could be wrong. No, well, I didn't. Was it game 1 or game 2? Again, I didn't finish game 2. So yeah, I did not. But I don't know. Maybe I'll go back and check it out. I don't really watch a whole lot of special teams, as we all know.
He does
To be
not.
fair to Trotz, he's actually held on and grown the draft war chest. None of the UFAs that mortgage the future. Exactly. I think that's the way to look at it in a way. It's like, it's not all terrible. You know, it's not like Toronto trading away all your draft picks for just guys. Like they
Brandon Carlo.
Nashville spent money on Steven Stamkos, which, like, yeah, probably.
It's not NHL draft assets, you know? Like, it's not it as much as money is an asset. When we're talking about it, there's a finite amount of it you have for a salary cap. They just swung wrong, and it's okay. It happens.
Yeah.
They didn't ruin their ability to get good young players in.
Right. Okay. And more Canes related stuff. Whoa, you of all people have Canes related stuff. Whoa, I would never have guessed.
I don't want to talk about the Canes next. No, I'm kidding.
Hunger Storm has taken a step. He's a point per game in the AHL. I mean, yeah, like we talked about Easton Cowan earlier in the year, and Hunger Storm is kind of like that. You know, like I think if you put an Hunger Storm in the NHL at some point in the next season or so, you're gonna get a similar type top nine, smart, well-rounded guy who's competitive and may not be the guy, but a good one nonetheless.
All right, it is 4
Yeah,
minutes to
we're gonna
10.
bang.
We're gonna get through this because Will is jet lagged and
Yep.
I
Yeah,
am
I gotta
tired.
I gotta go make a sandwich and go to bed. Is it likely that Villeneuve will be a number one all phases defenseman on a Stanley Cup contender? I mean,
Ooh.
it depends, right? Like,
That's a tall order too.
like what is all phases, right? Like,
That means all situations is what I interpret
'cause,
that
like
to mean.
who is that? Is there any player in the NHL as a defenseman that is that?
Cale Makar, maybe.
Sure. Okay.
That it's
And
just Cale Makar.
maybe Miro Heiskanen,
Maybe Quinn Hughes.
maybe Quinn Hughes. Like, is
Charlie
is
McAvoy, if you really want to stretch it. Adam Fox.
Is Xavier Villeneuve going to be one of the best defensemen in the National Hockey League?
Probably
I
not, but he'll
don't
be really
know, but
good based on what Will thinks.
well, you should at some point.
I've seen him.
Well,
You remember you showed me him at the beginning. Like I saw 3 guys at the beginning of the year.
You should go on Victory Plus when you have time and watch the first CHL USA game because Xavier Villeneuve was absolutely staggering in that game.
I
I
believe
think
it.
that I think that he like they're obviously being in Quebec, right? Like there's people who will go, "Oh, but it's Quebec," right? Like, "Oh, blah 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 blah." And
But
sure,
usually that's you and Tony.
yeah, and I think there are other people who feel that way as well, but like you see him at the under 18s last year, he was electrifying. And I think that like there were some moments in that where I go, "You know what? Like people are comparing him to Lane Hudson. He compares himself to Lane Hudson. Honestly, I think there's like a hybrid of Hudson and Makar there. Like he is more
That's pretty
explosive.
high praise.
He is more explosive than Hudson was for sure at this age. He is quicker in his first couple steps. He is more aggressive in the offensive zone than Hudson was, really. Hudson walks the blue line better than a lot of guys out there. He's probably the most deceptive defenseman with the puck on his stick out of anybody.
Oh God,
Almost
yes
to a-
he is.
Almost to a comical level. And I don't think that's Villeneuve, but Villeneuve takes you one way and fakes and goes the other way. You're lost. You're gone. And he just has that like ability to corral the puck along the blue line and jump into the offensive zone and leap into scoring areas that you don't see out of very many guys. Like to me, it's like, is Villeneuve the type of player who can be a top pair offensive defenseman in the NHL these days? I think the answer to that is yes. Is he going to get pushed around in the playoffs? Maybe, maybe, maybe.
Well,
but like,
let's see him get there first.
I would like to see him get there, and I would like to see him try.
and
Because he is
and how
not
much
soft.
and
He's
also
not like there. He was in those games. Like I think was at the end of the end of one of the periods. He's just hacking and whacking and not like he is not a wuss. This kid cares. He goes. And I really, really think that he has a tremendous amount of upside. Like if we're going to be critical of a guy like Villeneuve's upside as a number one all phases defenseman on a Stanley Cup contender, and the conversation is like, well, what about Gavin McKenna? You like, is Gavin McKenna likely, based on how he plays, going to be a number one all phases scoring winger on a contending Stanley Cup
Nope.
team in the Stanley Cup final? I think there is reason to poke holes in that argument. So it's like, are we looking at, when I look at Villeneuve, I see a guy where if again, it's like, it goes back to the discussion of if I'm coaching and he's my opponent, how do I beat him? And I do not really know the answer to that unless I have the puck. And if he has the puck, I do not know the answer. I just have no idea what you do to him because he can get his way out of anything. He is I think the first few weeks of the year, first month of the year that I saw him, he was overconfident and making mistakes, and it was like it was frustrating. But he seems to have figured it out. He looks a lot better than he did getting going this season, and I think he looks excellent. Askarov a 947 this month too. Yeah, the rumors of Yaroslav Askarov's demise have also clearly been have been overstated.
Also, you gotta play 82 and soon 84 regular season games to make the playoffs. So, like, and how many games do you get in the playoffs? Sometimes 4 to 7.
Yeah. Given the Flames' last couple of drafts, who would they have collected and what they've collected? If the Flames have a top 3 or 5 pick, who would you target? It's a very good question. Let's see. Who does Calgary have right now? I mean, they do kind of lack, I think, a little bit up the middle. I mean,
They always kind of have, right? Like that's
added Rushny, they added Potter, but there's not that many good centers this year. I would say if Tynan Lawrence is there, that's the guy I would go for if I'm Calgary. If not Tynan Lawrence, maybe I mean I would trade down. Like if Tynan Lawrence is gone by the time you pick, I would trade down, see if you can get like Preston in the middle of the first round, Villeneuve in the middle of the first round. Like I don't know that's. But I would aim for Tynan Lawrence. I think he's probably the most effective center, the probably best 200-foot player in the draft. He's I think a guy that would glue that team together extremely well. Thoughts on Damon Christophe Shongoth? I mean, he's elite because he's one of like 5 16-year-olds to go to the World Championships, played for Hungary. I don't know. I think he's an interesting one. I don't know if he gets drafted, but he's physical. He's pretty intense. He's got a bit of skill, but I just don't know if he's an NHL player. Tynan Lawrence first overall. I mean, for me, yeah, right now he is, but I don't know what to do at the top end of the draft. I think it's a very, 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 very close race between 5 or 6 guys. And then it drops off, but they're still all really good. We can discuss my thoughts on Trotz more in the Discord. Yeah, fair enough. I know you have complex thoughts. As someone who liked Reshny, you must be a Flames fan, my friend, who's liked Reshny, that his recent play has given you more hope of his NHL projectability. I mean, kind of, but also like not really. Like his ability to make plays and read play and work under pressure, like that can work in the NCAA too. You know, I think if he were in the WHL, he'd be doing himself a disservice. I think this is a good challenge for him, and he's doing well. It's so far, so good. I'm Raleigh born and raised. Okay, yeah. I know you were very high on him last year, but with the weaknesses on the Team USA blue line for the World Juniors, could you see Henry Bruchtevitz making it? Sure. Yeah. I mean, like you look at that roster.
that roster.
Yeah, who's on the USA junior team this year? Let's see. I mean, yeah. Like, would I take him over Asher Barnett? Probably. Would I take him and EJ Emery and Blake Fiddler and Logan Hensler? Sure. Like, if I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 defensemen here, you got to cut 3 of them. You got to think Kleber's going to be there and Hudson will be there and Hensler will be there because they were all there last year. So that's 3. Chase Reed probably is there. I would love to see Luke Osborne there. I think Luke Osborne would be great. I think if anything, Bruchtevitz would be bottom pair for me on that group. Osborne, I would love to see him there. I think Chase Reed very well could make it, but I wouldn't be surprised if he was like the last cut and they left like EJ Emery on the team or something. But we'll see. But Luke Osborne, man, we like Luke Osborne around here.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. All right, let's finish this off.
Yeah, I was about to say.
We talked about okay. We'll close with this. What's one music opinion you guys have about a popular band or singer that would be seen as controversial by many?
I don't really care for Taylor Swift.
I don't think that's controversial.
Well,
she's got armies of haters.
I don't hate her. I just don't care. That's my take. That's it.
I don't know if it's controversial to think that I don't think it's controversial to think that like Ariana Grande might be one of the GOATs. Is that controversial? Because she's incredible.
She is incredible. But like I don't care about like her music so much, but as like a vocalist, she's pretty spectacular.
Yeah.
But she doesn't always sing like the most interesting stuff for me. So.
No, but I don't
Oh,
know.
here's a controversial take. I hate all of this like affected and like added stuff like when it comes to singing. Like all these like all scooping just
Yeah.
like I hate scooping. To me that is the sign of somebody who is finding the note as opposed to somebody who can actually hit it flat out. Like it's lame. I don't like when people go to get to their friggin' note. Okay, just like find it.
I agree.
Find
My mom
it.
hates that too. My mom is a singer and she
Find
despises
it.
that. Yeah, she really does.
Oh, I also hate when people do covers of songs in the wrong key, like in lower keys. If you can't sing it in the right key, you can't sing the song. I'm really mean to street performers because every time I see them, I'm like, get out of here. I could do your shtick way better and actually be in the right key of the song. And I'm not lying. I can do it, but I'm not gonna do it because I don't want to. So I'm just a hater. I'm just a hater who thinks he's better, but really knows he is. That's all.
I think music is also too produced these days. It's just too perfect. There's too much music that's too perfect. But that's not controversial, I don't think either. And it's not all music either. I think a big thing about this day and age with music and stuff is like you kind of find what you want to find.
Yeah, and that's fine.
And if you look for what you want to find, you'll find it. And if you look for what you don't want to find, you'll find it. Like if you want like you go listen to psychedelic porn crumpets, that band that is a band that is a band band, man. They are recording music and it is insane. But like they're going for it. Like you can tell that is a real like they're just playing music and they're like what's the album? Carpe Diem Moon Man. It's a great album. They're excellent.
Dead poet. They like Dead Poet Society. Is that what that is?
Potentially, yeah, maybe.
Seize the day.
They exist. Olivia Dean, she rocks. And that's like you can tell that it's just like.
Oh, I guess Nickelback is overhated. They're fine, they're overhated.
Yeah. I mean, they do have some tunes that slam.
They do. I met Chad Kroeger when I was 9 years old, and he loved me because my dad used to work at EMI Music Canada. That was the record label they were on, so I got to meet a couple of artists when I was a kid, and Nickelback was probably the most prominent one. And I hung out with Chad Kroeger for a little bit, and it was a good time. But I was 9 years old going to those concerts.
I also believe, and then we'll call it a night, but I also believe that Poor Nameless Boy is the greatest Canadian folk singer that ever existed. So his music.
We love you, Joel. We love you.
And also, yes, we did not think Matthew Schaefer was going to be this good this quickly.
No.
It is ridiculous.
Did you know I know him?
We met him once. Oh God. Anyway, I gotta go. I am very tired. It's time for bed.
It's time for my second taco because there's tacos waiting for me.
It's taco time. Thanks for joining us. I know we're a little slower than usual getting going, but we appreciate you all coming out for the evening, and we'll be back Thursday afternoon, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Again, if you want to help us out directly, give us a subscription. Hit the bell. You'll see the videos as they come in. We're gonna have some for a while coming out. Video rooms coming soon.
Game tape on Wednesday if I can muster up the strength to do it. Yep. But it's mostly done, and I have a day where I'm working from home, so it should all get done.
And if you really want to help us out, go to Scouching.ca, look for a subscription. It's an anniversary month this year. This year, but if you want to hold off, we're gonna do a boxing thing sale next month if you want. But definitely, or that is this month actually. It's December.
Later this month.
Later this month, if you missed out on the Black Friday thing. But anyway, thanks for joining us. We'll see you Thursday. Again, check out Scouching.ca. Give us your money. and we'll do good things. With
Buy
it,
us
I
a
think.
billion coffees.
Buy us a billion coffees if you can, and we'll see you Thursday afternoon, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Thanks for joining us. I
Yeah.
am going to go to bed now, and we'll see you then.
Yeah, and the Leafs suck, and I love my new puppy.